Stop.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me here on another episode of Crossing the Line. And we've got a doozy here today. We're looking at Libs of TikTok on Twitter. Now, if you're not familiar with Libs of TikTok, it was an account that started following people on TikTok and basically just retweeting and republishing any of the cringy videos that the left people put out. People from the LGBTQ community, just leftists in general, trans people, just the cringy takes and kind of fucked up things that they'd put out on TikTok just to kind of air it out and show people what they really stand for and what they're following. Now, Libs of TikTok have been attacked viciously over this. They've been dragged through the media and attacked, calling them transphobes and terrorists and all sorts of shit like that. And the lady who runs it is, she's been doxxed as well, had her life threatened, you fucking name it. Now, Libs of TikTok has been reinstated on Twitter since Elon's taken over, which is fantastic. But they've got a thing here that we're going to take a look at. It's a story from the Post-Millennial. LGBTQ community has become this cult, and it is so captivating. They brainwash people to join them, and they convince all these things of all these things, and it's really, really hard to get out of it. They're just evil people. Now, Libs TikTok tweeted here, they suck young people in. They're not allowed to notice. You're not allowed to be critical. You have to go along with it, and you're called all sorts of slurs, and we shouldn't fall for it. Now, we'll have a quick look at this video here.
And they brainwash people to join, and they convince them of all of these things, and it's really, really hard to get out of it. It's really difficult, and there are studies on this. Like there's been a lot of reporting on this about people, parents who are like, my child is starting to say, that they're non-binary or transgender or whatever, and what do I do? How do I stop this? And it's really, really difficult. It's unlike anything we've ever seen, I think. It's extremely poisonous.
But do you see a spiritual component to any of this? You don't have to answer that if you don't want.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I do. I don't think this makes sense at all.
No, it doesn't make any sense. And I think they're evil. And sometimes we try to, and
So, as you can see there, Libs of TikTok talking to Tucker Carlson, and it's true, they are evil. They're brainwashing children. In a lot of cases, they're grooming them, and anytime you call them out on it, they chuck their hands up in the air and scream, "Poor me, poor me." I don't know about you, but I don't know anyone that thinks that groomers and pedophiles should be out in public doing things, living life like the rest of us. And I think they should be ostracized from public. And this massive push that's happening in the US to integrate MAPs, what they like to call themselves now, or pedophiles is what they are, and baby rapers is really what they are, is disgusting. They are pushing to be integrated into the LGBTQ community. People like Libs of TikTok and Gays Against Groomers and things like that have popped up in response to this, and a lot of it has been demonized and said that they're just transphobic and whatnot, even if it's a trans person calling it out. Someone like Blair White would call out the same thing, and they get demonized and attacked and called transphobic, even if they are trans. So who is behind this? Who are the main people pushing this agenda? Is a bunch of people. There's a few people they call out on Libs of TikTok, call them out. You find them on Twitter, then notorious people for this agenda. And people like Hassan, people like H3 Podcast, things like that, just commentators who are helping the entire thing get pushed along and pushed to the inevitable conclusion that's going to come to violence, or it's going to come to pedophiles being accepted into the LGBTQ community. Now, I have friends that are part of that community, and they would rather die than see that happen. And I know several of them that would actively and do actively fight against it. But why are they pushing for this to happen? And who are the people pushing for it to happen? Well, there's a few people. Things that have popped up on Twitter, and few things that have been trending recently is a video here from tweet here from Ian Smith. I'll watch this one here.
Why? Stop. Why is this thing not hot? I swear to God, if anyone says welcome to womanhood, I'm gonna lose my shit.
That's the kind of cringy shit that libs of TikTok would, point out and just show people. So if you're not aware of those things, libs of TikTok point them out and bring them to the public eye. Shit like that's just cringy and fucked up, and obviously someone with a mental illness that needs some help. And speaking of someone with a mental illness, we have Dylan Mulvaney here. If you don't know who Dylan Mulvaney is, it's a trans activist of sorts who puts out some pretty fucking hard to watch videos, and the personality of the person really gives me the ick. I don't know about you, but just gives off the vibe that they're mentally unhinged, and you wouldn't let them near your kids. You wouldn't want to associate with them in general. Now, Dylan Mulvaney was pretty much became famous from transitioning to become a girl and living each day as a girl, and then making videos about each day. We'll watch a couple of these short clips here. Let me know what you think. But I am going to give you a bit of a warning. They're cringy and they are pretty fucking disturbing. But I will have a look here.
47 of being a girl, and I'm hiking in a pleather skirt because you never know who you're gonna meet. But I've still been getting a ton of comments that are like, are you gonna change your name, Dylan? And I just don't think trans people should have to change their names if they don't want to be trans. I like my name, and I'm a girl with a boy's name.
Did you just say you're a girl with a boy's name?
Yeah.
I'm a girl named Ryan.
I'm a girl named Dylan. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're girls with boys' names.
So you can see it's a little fucked up. Some messed up shit going on there, but we'll have a look at some more videos. They're pretty cringy.
Day 47.
And,
Day 46 of being a girl, and hopefully no crying today.
This one here is fucking hilarious.
I'm on the way to the car dealership to get my oil changed. And when I was a boy, I didn't know anything about cars. And I still don't know anything about cars as a girl. I am a girl that proudly drives with the check engine light on. You might say to me, Dylan, why don't you learn how to change your own oil? Be independent. Because then I wouldn't get to walk to the mall every 4 months from the dealership and get myself a soft baked pretzel. It's all about stimulating the economy. I'm in a pretty conservative part of town, and I've already gotten some looks. And before I left the house, I was like, oh, Dylan, maybe you should wear something a little more toned down. And then I thought, no, these people need to see people like me wearing what we want and walking around, because the more people they see like me living our best lives, the less looks they'll give, and the more normal it will become. This is your sign to go get your oil changed.
Okay, so obviously that person is taking the piss. I don't know whether it's completely intentional of taking the piss, or whether there's some genuine personality shining through there. But Dylan Mulvaney is obviously mentally ill and needs some attention, and loves the attention they get. Now, I don't know what the end goal is here with, say, Dylan Mulvaney, but put it this way: the US president has actually had a meeting with this person, and has said that he's like an inspiration, and Joe Biden said that he's part of the new White House, and blah 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 blah. It's kind of scary that people like this, mentally ill people, are getting into the top of government. Like Dylan Mulvaney's getting meetings with the president. Not to mention, you can see the president's staffer who was stealing stealing other people's luggage from airports. The transgender dude who was, who I don't even know if he was transgender, just like to dress as a woman, bald and had a mustache. Part of the Nuclear Commission or something like that, in charge of nuclear shit. I don't know about you, but this is a fucking bad trajectory that the US is on. And it's incrementing and creeping into Australian life. It's happening here. And I don't know how people are just going to tolerate it. Like, if you're transgender, if you're gay, if you're non-binary, whatever it is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's you do you. Like, what you do is up to you as long as you don't go and hurt anyone else or interfere with anyone else's life. When you actively go out of your way to promote and brainwash children, though, and groom them into becoming like you or, accepting you for who you are, but changing their mind to make it think that it's normal, because it's not normal. I mean, it's the spice of life. That's what makes life entertaining, is that everyone's not the same, and everyone doesn't do the same thing and say the same shit, because people that do, they're the sheep, and they're the ones who follow the government, and they all bleat the same nonsense that the left does. The left is very, very strict. Anyone who steps out of the bounds of whatever they say or think is ostracized immediately. And it's kind of like a hard pill to swallow that these people want to actively let pedophiles and groomers into normal groups of society, and people just don't see the slippery slope that we're on. Like, everyone said, it's a slippery slope to begin with, and then you always have the normal people out there, the mass general population, that just say, no, you're full of shit, you don't know what you're talking about, you're a conspiracy theorist, or you're just, you're reading too much into it, or that won't happen. And, well, look how far it's gone already. They're transitioning children in the US. They're doing it here in Australia. They're doing it all over the world. They're transitioning children. They're putting them on hormone blockers. They've pretty much made it illegal to be a normal man, a straight white male, or it's at least very problematic. And people say, no, that's not true. And so, well, they're not hiring them in a lot of places. They will actively go out to hire people like Dylan Mulvaney, trans people, gay people, disabled people, to fill up a quota, not because they're right for the job, but fill up a quota. I mean, look at the White House, I forget what he is, the White House transgender person who's in charge of nuclear fucking whatever it is. They got arrested and for stealing people's luggage from an airport, because obviously that person's mentally unhinged if they have to wear high heels and a red dress to work in the White House. Now, Dylan Mulvaney is just, I don't know, another drop in the bucket of insanity that's happening in the US. But there is good news. There is a lot of people out there fighting it. There is a lot of people out there pointing it out. Libs of TikTok, even people like Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, anyone who can actually think for themselves. Gays Against Groomers is a massive one. Gays Against Groomers also had been deleted off of Twitter, or taken down off of Twitter, until Elon brought them back on. And I just don't see why there's that much opposition over ostracizing pedophiles and groomers. You think it was something that we could all agree on. It was something we could all agree on back in the a few years ago, but now it's not. So I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know what their end goal is, but I can think and kind of predict where it's going and what they want. But until we see the end result and where the, which side of the coin this lands on, people aren't going to wake up and see that what they're doing is wrong and what they're doing is fucked up, and they're pushing for pedophiles to be normalized, and they're pushing for children to be sexualized. Like, look at the Balenciaga fucking saga that just happened. And it just keeps happening and happening. And there's more evidence that comes out on shit like this every day. And people just say, oh, it's, you know, it's nothing. It's not a slippery slope. It's not a big conspiracy. It's nothing. But there's so much of it that it's terrifying to see. And the kids that are growing up these days and listening to people like Dylan Mulvaney and thinking that it's normal to want to transition when you're a child and things like that. It's actually not normal to be a normal boy or a girl, whether you're gay or bi or whatever you are. They don't even like you being the one gender anymore. They want you to be split up and into some sort of weird cult. Where is it going? Where do you guys think it's going? And what do you think we can do to at least bring awareness to it and stop it with the mainstream people that obviously don't care or know about these things? Because it's only people on the left that know about it, and the only people basically in the political right spectrum that know anything about it. Anyone who's in the middle kind of stays out of these things. They can hear it in the background, but they don't really look into it, and they don't realise the extent that it's got to, where that they're trying to sexualise kids in schools with disgusting books, where they're wanting kids to learn how to masturbate at the age of 4 and how to perform oral sex at really young ages, and that apparently men can use tampons, as in the case of Dylan Mulvaney and things like that, and that it's normal to be not normal, apparently. And the scariest part is them trying to make us accept pedophiles, which will never happen. But we've also said a lot of things will never happen. And the way it's going, it's getting worse and worse. And if the day comes where they want us to accept pedophiles into our midst, I think that's a day where armed conflict will be raging in every street in the country. And not just America, but Australia and all over the world. If they go and let pedophiles near your children because they have a special flag and they get to join the alphabet army, I don't think anyone in the alphabet army on the majority of the scale would want that to happen. But it just seems to be getting closer and closer, and everyone says, oh, it's never going to happen. But we've said a lot of shit's never going to happen, and it's 2022 and it has happened. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.